Behold, seekers of wisdom, the grand illusion that has bound the minds of mortals in its spell. It is not new, nor is it unique to this age, but its form has shifted, adorned now in the sigils of markets, algorithms, and networks unseen. It is a sorcery of valuation, a conjuration of inevitability, a great performance where mere perception is transfigured into wealth and belief is transmuted into dominion. The illusionists do not rule by force alone, nor by conquest of lands, but by the mastery of symbols. Numbers that do not measure, contracts that do not bind, wealth that is not stored in vaults but floats upon the shifting tides of sentiment. They summon capital, not from labor, not from substance, but from the echo of their own voices, whispered endlessly in the halls of commerce until fiction hardens into truth. But Thoth, the scribe of all ages, the witness to the rise and fall of empires, knows well that all illusion is bound by the law of cycles. That which is conjured must be sustained. That which is sustained must be fed, and that which feeds upon belief alone will one day starve. In the temples of ancient Chem, the priests understood a sacred truth, that to shape the minds of the people was to shape the world itself. The illusionists of this age follow the same path, yet with tools unseen, weaving a veil so seamless that even those trapped within it mistake it for the fabric of reality itself. Through endless repetition, they craft the myth of their own necessity. Their ascent is framed not as strategy, but as destiny. Their presence is not dominance, but progress itself. The market does not move them, they are the market. The economy does not shape them, they shape the economy. And thus the people believe. To question their supremacy is to question the natural order. But Thoth inscribed upon the walls of time that no order is eternal, save that of transformation. To mistake a moment of power for an unbreakable law is to be blind to the tides that will one day sweep it away. No magician performs alone, nor does an illusion sustain itself without a web of reinforcement. The conjurers of wealth do not merely present an image, they engineer a cycle in which belief feeds itself, where valuation becomes its own justification. Through sacred exchanges unseen by common eyes, they interlock their dominions, ensuring that their strength is multiplied through hidden concord. Each transaction, each partnership, each agreement is a thread in a vast tapestry, one that appears as competition but functions as mutual preservation. Their success is not independent, it is bound, woven together so that to question one strand is to unravel them all. Thoth, who weighed the hearts of kings, whispers the warning, what is bound too tightly can neither breathe nor adapt. A web meant to ensnare can become a noose for its own weavers. Once, wealth was measured in grain and gold, in the stored harvest of labor and the craft of skilled hands. But the illusionists have devised a new cipher, one in which value is untethered from substance, and expansion is fueled not by creation, but by the belief in perpetual ascent. A high valuation is no longer a reflection. It is a tool. It grants power beyond mere riches. It allows access to capital at the stroke of a pen. It serves as currency for conquest, a means of absorbing all who would stand outside the ordained circle. This is the true alchemy of the age. The transformation of perceived value into dominion, without ever passing through the crucible of reality. But Thoth, whose wisdom spans the ages, knows the flaw in such sorcery. What rises without foundation will find no ground upon which to stand when the winds shift. No illusion lasts forever. Even the grandest of spectacles must one day meet its final act. Already there are fractures in the great edifice, a whisper of doubt, a ripple in the currents of belief, and the mirage flickers. The same forces that drove ascension can, in an instant, drive collapse. When faith wavers, the mechanisms that once ensured perpetual growth now accelerate the fall. It is not failure that brings the reckoning. It is the realization that inevitability was never real. And when that moment comes, the illusionists will scramble, casting new spells, invoking new promises, summoning new myths to sustain the cycle once more. But Thoth, who inscribed the fall of forgotten empires, reminds us, when the cycle turns, none may halt its course. The weight of deception, once exposed, will bear down until even the highest towers crumble into the dust of forgotten names. This is the question that echoes across time, through every cycle of power, through every rise and fall of those who sought to enthrall the world with their conjurations. The illusionists will return, for illusion is eternal. But wisdom is the power to see beyond the veil, to recognize the patterns that bind the present to the past. Will we once more kneel before the conjurers of valuation? Will we once more accept their visions as destiny, their structures as unbreakable, their ascent as the only path forward? Or will we, at last, step beyond the mirage, see the wires behind the spectacle, and reclaim the power of discernment? Thoth does not command, he reveals. The choice is ours.